Beaver County sniper seen and sent the pictures out. This is him.
This is him. New video revealing the raw first moments when law enforcement got to the roof where the gunman attempted to assassinate former President Trump. We'll show you this new body cam footage. We'll analyze it with the experts, and we'll look at what key issues are facing FBI Director Christopher Wray as he testifies today about his investigation into the deadly Secret Service failures from July 13th. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will address Congress today, his presence leading to protests and arrests. And a growing number of Democrats boycotting. Vice President Kamala Harris will also not be in attendance. Will the no-shows undermine an attempt to rally support for a key ally? But Kamala Harris will be hitting the campaign trail today, continuing her record-breaking streak for fundraising. As of this morning, at least $126 million since Sunday. We're live in Indy with the presumptive nominee. Tourists running for their lives after an unexpected explosive eruption at Yellowstone National Park.
Run! Run!
Rocks, water, steam, and dirt shooting high in the air. One witness saying it was like a black cloud covered the sun. Wow, what a way to start a Wednesday. It's Morning in America. From our News Nation headquarters in America's heartland, it's time for News for All America. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Nick Smith. We begin with shocking new video released this morning, shedding light on what happened in the immediate aftermath of the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. Body cam video recorded by a local first responder and released by Senator Chuck Grassley's office shows what transpired right after Secret Service shot and killed 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks. We're going to show you the video in full as it was released by Senator Grassley. We do want to warn you, though, that the video you're about to see is graphic in nature and could be disturbing to some viewers.
All right, so we don't know. So this is the guy
Yes, that they sent yes, Beaver County sniper seen and sent the pictures out. This is him.
Okay. All right.
Rifle's right there, obviously.
Got it. So the bike in the back, is he on that bike?
We don't know.
We don't know. So we're just treating that as suspicious device.
Oh, one second. I believe the sniper that seen these and sent the pictures is right inside this building. Michelle, is Greg in there? All right, so if you go to that window that's open and yell for Greg, that's the sniper that sent the original pictures and seen him come from the bike and set the book back down and then lost sight of him.
Okay.
He's the one that sent the pictures out. I don't know if you got the same ones I did.
I think I did, yeah. He's like got his glasses on and he's...
So we had the picture of that.
I got that.
Okay, and then this is his bike with the stuff. And our sniper seen him walking away from that, I believe.
Okay.
But he would be right inside that window. He's the one that physically seen this, sent the pictures, and called it out.
Okay, so, and we have somebody detained, correct?
That I don't know.
People detained on this side. Right. Our guy that was just up here told me that there's a guy detained who's the owner of the bike. And I said, no, I think that's the owner of the bike.
Yeah, basically, when I got
we've been up here, so we wouldn't know that information.
We just hold ass. We got every day.
Got it.
We hopped up on
it. Yeah, that's no problem. Is that all your stuff?
That was one of our
Yeah, so someone came up looking to treat him.
Charles Marino joins me now. He was a Secret Service special agent. He's also the author of the book titled Terrorists on the Border and in Our Country. Charles, good morning. Welcome.
Morning, Nick.
Charles, after listening to how the law enforcement officers on that roof described what had just happened, is it typical to have a lot of unanswered questions at this stage of the investigation?
Absolutely. One interesting thing, though, that we should pay attention to, because there's been a lot of discussion about the Secret Service and state and local law enforcement not being on the same page about this individual, his whereabouts, the fact that he had seen and then gone missing, couldn't be found again. They are all talking about the same person, which tells me there was a sharing of information that occurred here prior to the shooting incident. You can hear that in the conversation where the agent says to the officers, "Is this the guy?" And the officer says, "Yes, this is about the picture." And he goes, "Yes, I saw that." So that picture, based on that conversation, had been circulating amongst Secret Service and state and local law enforcement, which is a good thing. They were communicating. The bad thing that you hear in there is that, yes, one of the snipers saw this individual on his bike with the backpack. He puts the backpack down and they lose track of him. Now, it appears, based on the sequences that we've heard, the varying sequences, that one commonality is they can never catch up to this shooter. They can never find his whereabouts after the initial sighting and reporting by both the public and law enforcement.
Charles, why is that? With so many eyes having seen this guy, why was it so hard to then locate him?
Yeah, this is the million-dollar question. Why was it so hard to track him down for what's called a protective intelligence investigation, to confirm his identity, his whereabouts, why he's there, the items that he may be carrying in that backpack? The other thing that is still a big problem is why there was no deterrent on top of that roof or in that building. This individual had an idea that he was going to be able to make it up on this roof and carry out exactly what he did based on what he was seeing in that building.
And Charles, do you also believe in this situation that he had not scaled maybe that roof for the first time? Is it possible that that information would come forward as well? Or do you think he just took it by chance that, you know what, this is a roof I think I can make it on top of, I'll find an air duct and I'll scale that air duct? Or do you think he had actually tried it before?
No, I said this on the first day. There was pre-planning that went into this. This wasn't the first time he had visited this site. And we now hear the reports of use of a drone to assess the area. So he knew what he wanted to do. He knew the best place to do it, which was this elevated threat on this building with a direct line of sight of the former president. But still, back to the question, he had the plan in place and he was able to carry it through. Why was there no deterrent placed on this building to prevent him from carrying out this attack from that location?
Chuck, stand by. I want to bring in News Nation's Alina Shirazi. She's in Washington, D.C. this morning. Alina, today FBI Director Christopher Wray will be testifying before the House Judiciary Committee, and he'll face some tough questions about the Trump assassination attempt, especially those questions that were left unanswered with Kim Cheadle, who resigned less than 24 hours ago from the Secret Service. Alina?
Yeah, Nick, good morning. We know there are a lot of unanswered questions that they tried to get out of the former United States Secret Service Director, Kimberly Cheadle. We know that she did resign. A lot of those answers they're hoping to be answered today by FBI Director Christopher Wray. A lot of questions as to a lot of those holes and gaps in that narrative, in that story, as to why that building was left unsecured, exactly how that shooter got on the roof and exactly what happened there. So they really, again, want to just fill in the gaps in that story as to what happened. We know the former Secret Service director, she referenced the FBI investigation at least 10 times during her testimony on Monday. She deferred to the Bureau multiple times, including for the number of shell casings that were found on the roof, how many explosives the shooter had, and whether Thomas Matthew Crooks was acting alone. So here's a little bit from that exchange.
In order to dispel conspiracy theories, have you guys been able to subpoena the shooter's Discord records, or has the FBI, to your knowledge?
I believe that the FBI is working on those.
Okay. Is it factual to say that you have not ruled out that the shooter was working with other people or persons?
Again, the FBI is conducting the criminal investigation.
And they also want to know how the chair of the committee exactly coordinated with other law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, before all of this happened. So still, Nick, a lot of unanswered questions that they are hoping to have answered, at least in some way, shape, or form today during that testimony.
Alina, one more question for you. The FBI director might also have to answer questions why the roof of that building was left unsecured, like we just talked about with Chuck. What do we know about that?
Yeah, we heard from the Pennsylvania State Police Colonel. He said earlier in the week that we know the Secret Service told him that it was going to be up to local law enforcement to secure the building that Thomas Matthew Crooks did scale. So we know those are still some unanswered questions there. Who was in charge of that building, right? That's one of the big questions. And a lot of law enforcement agencies sort of deferring to one another. But today, of course, the FBI's turn to take those questions. Law enforcement officials testified that they spotted Crooks acting suspiciously shortly before that shooting, and 2 officers left their post to find them. So some questions on the time gaps there. They added they don't know whether those officers could have seen Crooks climb onto the roof as they looked for him. We know, again, Ray is set to testify at 10 in the morning Eastern time, just a few hours from now, where we will be listening to that hearing. We will be listening to the opening statements, his testimony, and certainly we'll be keeping you updated there, Nick, through the morning.
Alina Shirazi live at Capitol Hill. Alina, thank you so much. Charles, we just heard Alina talk about how the FBI's investigation will differ from that of the Secret Service. Break that down for us. How is their investigation different from what the Secret Service was doing to look at their own actions on February 13th? I'm sorry, on the 13th.
Yeah, Nick. So the Secret Service is doing an internal review, what's called a mission assurance, and that is a review of their protective operations, including the early identified failures from that day, to fix those, because they're not getting a pause in their protective work. It's only going to continue to increase. They've got the Democratic National Convention coming up. You've got Kamala Harris that will likely become the Democrat nominee, and then she has to name a vice presidential candidate, which adds another protectee to the Secret Service's work. So their primary focus in what they're reviewing is to button up their operations so something like this never happens again. As far as the FBI investigation, this is truly a criminal investigation. The Secret Service maintains the crime scene after an incident like this. The FBI comes in, they've got the statutory authority when it comes to investigating attempted assassinations. The Secret Service steps aside, and the FBI truly goes after this as a criminal investigation and will investigate all aspects of this. The fact that the roof was not posted will certainly be a significant part of their investigation on the FBI side, but it will not be the totality. They will be handling everything from ballistics to the background of the shooter and any unknown facts. But one thing is clear, this report should be fast to complete because we're only dealing with one site. The FBI is not looking at any other systemic issues within the Secret Service. That is being handled under other investigations like the DHS Inspector General and the internal review being led by former Secretary Janet Napolitano.
Charles, I've got less than 30 seconds, but I want to ask you, we talked about how different agencies witnessed this suspect on the roof. They had an idea of what this guy looked like. They talked about the backpack. How much do you believe like implicit bias played into this? Because had he been maybe not someone able to blend into that crowd, would he have stood out more? Would he have been easier to identify?
Let me tell you, the Secret Service especially is based on the demonstration of outward signs of being up to no good. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
They are experts at analyzing and assessing behavior that does not fit in with the totality of the situation or the event. So as far as gaining the attention of Secret Service agents and even local police to that extent, the activity of this individual where he was hanging out was enough to raise concerns not only with them, but also with members of the public. So this was outwardly awkward and suspicious behavior, which at protective venues is not uncommon. For some reason, you get a lot of these types of incidents, not only at event sites throughout the country, but also at places like the White House, where it is essential to go out and do a rapid assessment, asking the key questions of what's going on to eliminate any imminent threat.
And keeping an eye on behavior.
Well, yes, and there are, keeping an eye on behavior, and in some cases, Nick, keeping an eye on the individual throughout the duration of the event. So there's a lot more questions here, and it is going to go back to resourcing.
Charles?
You've heard that come up quite a few times. What type of capabilities with the level of threat that former President Trump represents in totality with the overall threat environment in the United States, did the resourcing on that day in Butler, PA, match the threat level?
And we will continue to follow that question throughout the entire process of this hearing and the investigation. Charles Marino, thank you so much.
Sure.
Tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern, tune in for a News Nation special report called The Plot to Kill Trump. Brian Enton hosts live from Pennsylvania near the site of the assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania. The major unanswered questions about what went wrong tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern. And right now, we're looking live over Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. All eyes will be on a joint meeting of Congress and the address from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. His appearance in D.C. is sparking boycotts and division among Democrats. So far, 21 lawmakers do not plan on attending his speech, and some will even hold alternate events at the same time. Security will be heightened today after around 200 protesters were arrested in the Capitol Rotunda while demanding a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. More protests are expected at the Capitol later today. With me now to break down the busy day ahead is Bob Cusack, editor-in-chief of TheHill.com. Bob, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Nick.
Bob, divisions are clear among Democrats over the war in Gaza. How does Kamala Harris, now at the top of the ticket, change how the party navigates this issue?
Well, Nick, that's a big challenge for her. One of many challenges Harris faces. She will not be presiding over today's speech. Her staff saying, well, she had a pre-planned trip to Indiana. But at the same time, a lot of Republicans are criticizing that decision. One of her biggest decisions she's made as the likely nominee. So Democrats have been united. But this is going to be a tough day for Democrats because they are divided. As you mentioned, a lot of Democrats boycotting the speech, heavy security on Capitol Hill, and also a big address for Netanyahu, who's going to be meeting with Biden, Harris, and Trump over the next several days. He's got tough politics back home. He's got some tough politics here in the United States as well, but Republicans, by and large, are behind him.
And is this an opportunity, Bob, for Kamala to kind of reshape the narrative with Gaza and Israel?
It is, but how is she going to reshape it? I mean, any which way she goes, if she moves left or to the center, it's going to trigger criticism, and that's going to be a major concern at the Democratic Convention in Chicago next month. Anything she does and anything Biden does, it's not going to be the perfect answer because the party is just divided. What she's got to worry about, she's got to get all those Democrats, whatever they think about the war in Gaza, to get out and vote. And that's part of the reason that Democrats made a shift, because they felt like Biden was going to get the vote out.
And try to ameliorate some of the frustration those key voters in places like Michigan are feeling right now over what's happening in Palestine. Netanyahu will be meeting with President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris and Mr. Trump this week. What could come out of these discussions, considering he will have a new president in roughly 6 months?
Well, the Democrats, Harris and Biden, are going to be pressing him for that ceasefire. And Trump is also reportedly, just like he is in Ukraine, wants to get some type of peace plan, but doesn't look that way because the tension is escalating not only with Hamas, but with Hezbollah to the north. So this is a big issue of how Netanyahu deals with this. And the big question is, how much longer can we get a ceasefire? Can we get the hostages out, including Americans? That's the biggest deal. And of course, Trump has said he would bring those Americans home. It's very, very tricky international politics.
And it will be interesting to see what Mr. Netanyahu has to say as he addresses members of Congress. Bob, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Nick.
Turning now to some of the other top headlines we're following on this Wednesday morning, starting in Nepal. A fiery plane wreck killing 18 people earlier today. The small passenger jet crashing before seemingly exploding as it took off from the international airport in Nepal's capital, Kathmandu. First responders were able to rescue the pilot, believed to be the only survivor. A doctor at Kathmandu's Medical College Hospital tells the Associated Press that the pilot has injuries to his eyes, but is expected to survive. It's not clear just yet what caused that crash. And Elon Musk is denying reports that he's donating $45 million a month to President Trump. The world's richest man says he's still giving to a PAC that he co-founded, which supports the former president's campaign, but at a, quote, much lower level. This comes as Tesla saw its second quarter profits fall more than 40% from the same time last year. Now that looks like something out of a movie, right? People being told to run. Parts of Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming remain closed after a hydrothermal explosion sent tourists running for safety. Rocks, dirt, water shooting into the air and eventually coming back down on top of some of those tourists. The U.S. Geological Survey says this happens when water quickly heats up in the steam underground. Volcanic activity at the park is still at normal levels. No one was hurt, but a visitor boardwalk was damaged. And Vice President Harris set to address thousands of women today in Indianapolis. We're there live with what to expect from her second speech as the frontrunner to replace President Biden on the top of the Democratic ticket this fall. And an Army employee now known as the Gucci Goddess heading to prison for a wild spending spree paid for by stealing from military kids. How much she stole and the time she's gonna have to serve for doing it.
Look, we know it's going to be a big change.
But it's the right thing to do for all of us.
It's just your mother and I want different things.
Which is why we got Sling TV.
So we can watch live and free TV all in one app?
That's right.
Dad gets live sports and news, and I get my reality shows.
And when we don't want to pay, your mom and I can still get hundreds of channels for free.
Sling is really keeping this family together.
You have no idea.
You have no idea.
Sling, the live TV you love. Sling.
Pain means pause on the things you love, but green means go. Cool the pain with BioFreeze and keep on going. BioFreeze, green means go.
You founded your kayak company because you love the ocean, not spreadsheets. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
Lactate is 100% real milk, just without the lactose. Delicious, too. Just ask my old friend Kevin.
Nothing like enjoying a cold one while watching the game. Who's winning?
We are, my friend. We are.
Oh, what a good time we will have. You can make it happen again.
Voltaren, for long-lasting arthritis pain relief.
So don't let that chip spoil your trip.
Is that a chip?
That happens a lot, but SafeLight could have helped. A chip repair is faster, cheaper, and easier than a new windshield. And with your insurance, it's usually free. So don't let that chip spoil your trip. Book today.
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
If you have Graves' disease, gritty eyes could be more than a rough patch. People with Graves could also get thyroid eye disease, or TED, which may need a different doctor. Find a TED eye specialist at isitted.com.
Maya knows how quality care can bring out a smile. But it's been a few dog years since she was able to enjoy a smile of her own. Good thing Aspen Dental offers affordable, complete care all in one place. With flexible hours and weekend appointments. Plus 20% off treatment plans for everyone. Loving our patients unconditionally. It's one more way Aspen Dental is in your corner.
Come and get your love. Itch, itch, scratch, must not itch.
Stop the itch sanity with Cortisone 10 for bug bites, poison ivy, and other itches. Cortisone 10 is #1 doctor recommended. It works fast and lasts for hours. Cortisone 10.
America, a nation of doers, dreamers, and fighters. And this great nation deserves a news network that doesn't take sides, but instead is built to bring us back together.
News Nation's not going anywhere.
News Nation is here to tell the story of all Americans without the partisan agendas, with respect for all of us. See why America's fastest growing cable news network is News Nation. News for all America.
Tonight, President Biden will deliver an Oval Office address to the nation in his first public comments since dropping out of the 2024 presidential race on Sunday. News Nation will have special coverage of Mr. Biden's Oval Office address tonight, starting at 7 Eastern, right here on News Nation.
The path
to the White House goes through Wisconsin. So, friends, we have 105 days until Election Day, and in that time, we've got some work to do. But we're not afraid of hard work. We like hard work, don't we?
Vice President Kamala Harris drawing sharp contrast between herself and President Trump in her first campaign event since President Biden announced he was ending his re-election bid and instead endorsing her. Today, the vice president will visit Indiana, speaking with one of the largest historically black sororities in the country, Zeta Phi Beta. The event comes on the heels of another big day of fundraising for Harris and her campaign, which says it now has raised $126 million. Kit Hanley joins me now from News Nation's affiliate in Indianapolis. Kit, the vice president remains today one of the people we're waiting to hear remarks from before, the news over the weekend.
Yes, Nick, that's right, and good morning. Vice President Harris's stop here in Indianapolis comes after she was unable to meet with the Zeta Phi Beta members in Washington back in December. Now, it's part of a broader push for the vice president to engage directly with black Americans, women, and young people. And we expect that Vice President Harris will touch on issues important to those groups in particular in today's remarks, topics like abortion and the economy. She'll also look to highlight the stark contrast between her and former President Donald Trump, like she did during her first campaign rally on Tuesday.
I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
And while Zeta Phi Beta leaders don't want to influence their members' votes come November, they want them to be educated about the issues and where each candidate stands. Now, Nick, I also want to mention that today's event is closed to the public, so there will be no cameras allowed inside there. And of course, also top of mind is security after the attempted assassination on former President Donald Trump earlier this month, especially as Harris's remarks here in Indianapolis come on the same day as the Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance holds an event over in Fort Wayne. Nick?
Kit, are you already seeing a visible security presence?
Yes, we are. We did see a few Secret Service members and IMPD officers do a few sweeps here earlier this morning around 4 or 5 a.m. because a lot of the members, I don't know if you can see inside here, but I'll move out of the way. You can see a lot of them have already arrived here in the lobby.
Kit Hanley live for us today in Indianapolis. Kit, thank you so much. Delta continues to struggle with delays and cancellations since Friday's global IT outage. Now the company is under investigation. Why Delta is having so much trouble getting back in the air while it's business as usual for the other airlines. And terrifying moments when a whale collides with the boat, breaching there. Look at that. Wow. Causing it to capsize, tossing the boaters into the water. Find out how they're doing this morning.
Your best defense against erosion and cavities is strong enamel. Nothing beats it. I recommend Pronamel Active Shield because it actively shields the enamel to defend against erosion and cavities. I think that this product is a game changer for my patients. It really works.
Every day, dirt and grime settles deep within your tile's grout lines. Stanley Steamer's powerful custom-made equipment removes the dirt you see and the dirt you don't. Your tile and grout isn't clean until it's Stanley Steamer Clean.
It's your home cleaner.
My friends call me Zam. I naturally hold a lot of stress in my digestive system, as a lot of women do. When I started taking DSO-1, I immediately noticed how much lighter I felt. It really helps me stay regular. I honestly recommend DSO-1 to everyone.
I'm out here telling people how they can save money with Experian. With subscription cancellation, you can be saving $270 on average a year.
Say less. I'm thinking girl math. You'll buy a pair of shoes with that. That's what we're talking about.
Get started now with the Experian app.
At the Jeep Make This the Summer event, you can take a vacation from payments on the most capable Wrangler ever. Our most affordable SUV, Jeep Compass. The only open-air pickup, Jeep Gladiator. And the most awarded SUV ever, Jeep Grand Cherokee. Hurry into your Jeep brand dealer and make the most out of summer with great deals plus no payments for 90 days.
During the Jeep Make This the Summer event, get $2,500 total cash allowance on select 2024 Jeep Compass models in dealer stock. See your local Jeep dealer today.
Meet the Jennifers. Gen X, Gen Y, and Gen Z. Each planning their future through the Chase mobile app. Gen X is planning a summer in Portugal with some help from JP Morgan Wealth Plan. Let's go, Whiskers. Gen Y is working with a banker to budget for her birthday.
You only turned 30 once.
And Gen Z, her credit's golden. Hello, new apartment. 3 gens getting ahead with Chase. Solutions that grow with you. One bank for now, for later, for life. Chase, make more of what's yours.
We went with the website nuts.com because nuts and dried fruit and pretzels and trail mix and gummies and chocolate and espresso beans and malted milk balls and crackers and popcorn and sesame sticks and veggie chips and energy squares and fudge and jelly beans and seeds and rock candy and saltwater taffy and dried berries and fruit leather and bars and jerky and a whole lot more .com was already taken. Get 20% off and free shipping on your first order at nuts.com. Yes, we have more than nuts, but still the website is just nuts.com.
What if your body didn't have to hurt after being active? Introducing Stogo, the only apparel with adjustable medical-grade support designed to help you overcome injuries, minimize pain, and regain the confidence to get back out there. Stogo's supportive apparel is engineered with 90 feet of high-strength cables that reinforce the body and control dials that allow you to adjust the support. Stogo is trusted by professionals, world-class athletes, and weekend warriors who all want one thing: more activity and less pain. Learn more at Stogo.com.
Welcome back. 31 minutes after the hour. Here's a look at the top stories we're following this morning. New video released shedding light on what happened in the immediate aftermath of the assassination attempt on former President Trump. Body cam video from a first responder in Pennsylvania and released by Senator Chuck Grassley's office shows that transpired right after Secret Service shot and killed 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks. In just a few hours, FBI Director Christopher Wray will be in the hot seat on Capitol Hill over that shooting, facing questions about his agency's investigation. Lawmakers are sure to press Director Wray about the shooter's motives after Kimberly Cheeto deferred to the FBI multiple times during her testimony earlier this week. And heightened security on Capitol Hill today as tens of thousands of pro-Palestinian protesters are expected to show up for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to address Congress. Nearly 200 protesters have already been arrested. Mr. Netanyahu's appearance sparking boycotts and division among Democrats. 21 lawmakers are planning to skip his speech. But Kelsey's here with more of our morning headlines because, Kelsey, a particular Democrat is kind of stepping aside. But who among us hasn't had gold bars in our jacket, Kelsey?
Well, you know, Nick, this is after refuting that he was even going to step down. So that's what's also interesting. The New Jersey Democratic Senator Bob Menendez is giving his resignation after being convicted on 16 counts of federal bribery charges last week. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer announcing Menendez's departure on the Senate floor on Tuesday. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, also a Democrat, will appoint a replacement to finish out Menendez's term, which ends in January. And his resignation will take effect August 20th. His sentencing is also on October 29th. A U.S. Army employee will be spending the next 15 years in federal prison. This is for stealing more than $100 million from the government. Janet Mello is her name, but she also goes by Gucci Goddess. She spent the money on more than 80 cars, luxury mansions, and more than $900,000 worth of jewelry in a single day. The money was meant to go towards a program to help military children. Mello's attorney says that she is deeply remorseful. Well, you got to take a look at this. This is scary video off the coast of New Hampshire. This was just a normal fishing trip. It took a wild turn. A whale colliding with that fishing boat, capsizing it. 2 men were on the boat at the time, one even getting caught under the boat. Thankfully, you can see that there were 2 brothers there. They jumped into action, and they were able to escape unharmed.
Kelsey, that is so scary. You know, I've been whale watching. You've been whale watching, but I don't want to see a breach.
That's exactly what I was thinking, and this is why I like the lakes, Nick.
You know what? And that Mello woman, that really bothers me anytime you're stealing money from military kids.
$108 million, no excuses.
Yeah, Gucci Goddess, I hope she gets Gucci handcuffs. There you go. Kelsey, thank you so much.
Thanks, Nick.
All right, right now, airports across the country, Delta passengers are still dealing with delays and cancellations. It follows CrowdStrike's global IT outage last week. Now, Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg says the glitch has forced Delta to cancel or delay more than 6,000 flights, impacting 500,000 passengers. Buttigieg has launched an investigation, and Delta says it will take a couple more days before the issue can be fixed. Joining me now is News Nation travel editor Peter Greenberg. Peter, why is this taking so long? Delta knows what they need to do. Why is it taking so long for them to bounce back?
Because it's not just one system at play here. They lost multiple systems when the CrowdStrike incident happened. One was their ability to track their own airplanes and position them, and then even worse, their ability to contact and track their own crew. At one point, believe it or not, they were making public address announcements at the Atlanta airport asking if there were any pilots around available to go to a gate and fly a plane. That was their system of tracking crew. Now, yesterday it got a little bit better for Delta. They only canceled about 400 flights, but the good news is they're going to now get back on track between now and Friday. However, let's call it what it is. A lot of people were disrupted when this happened, not just in terms of the numbers of people, but their travel plans, because we're living in the long, hot summer of 2024 where every plane is already full. So even if Delta wanted to rebook you, they couldn't because other flights were already full if they hadn't canceled those. So those travel plans evaporated, and that's when the DOT comes in, because was Delta offering them vouchers, frequent flyer miles, future flight credits, or refunds? And in a lot of cases, we're hearing stories that they weren't offering refunds, which is what they're obligated to do under DOT rules.
Wow, Peter, let's talk about summer travel, because you said some of these fares are dropping, right? They're at their lowest point since March 2020?
They are, and that's because there was too much capacity in the system, and a lot of the low-fare carriers, the Spirits and the Frontiers, started discounting, not surprising, but then a lot of the majors started to match them. You know, in the old days are maybe 10, 15 years ago, we defined a successful airline by which could lose money longer. And once you're a big airline and you start matching fares that you know you can't make money on, that's what we're seeing right now. So for the moment, those airfares are down. And one particular area where they're down, which may come as a big surprise to everybody, is France. We have the Olympics coming up. Why is that? Because unless you're holding tickets to the games, which means you're going, everybody else is saying, I don't want to go anywhere near that country during the Olympics. And Delta Airlines alone took a $100 million hit on revenue just on their flights to France. Actually, it was exceeded by Air France. They took a $196 million hit. So you're going to start seeing some bargains to France between now and the end of the year, an attempt to stimulate demand because it did not materialize for the Olympics.
Peter Greenberg, thank you so much, Peter.
You got it, Nick.
GOP vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance is on the campaign trail, but what does the party leadership think of him?
That seems like a pretty measured approach. He's got a sense of humor. He's engaging. I think that'll appeal to an awful lot of voters, particularly here in Wisconsin.
Plus, what Senator Ron Johnson has to say about reports President Trump regrets tapping Vance as his running mate.
Life, diabetes, there's no slowing down. Each day is a unique blend of people to see and things to do. That's why you choose Glucerna to help manage blood sugar response. Uniquely designed with Carb Steady. Glucerna, bring on the day.
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
This is our night.
Shingles doesn't care, but Shingrix protects. Only Shingrix has proven over 90% effective. Shingrix is a vaccine used to prevent shingles in adults 50 years and older. Shingrix does not protect everyone and is not for those with severe allergic reactions to its ingredients or to a previous dose. An increased risk of Guillain-Barré syndrome was observed after getting Shingrix. Fainting can also happen. The most common side effects are pain, redness, and swelling at the injection site, muscle pain, tiredness, headache, shivering, fever, and upset stomach. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Shingrix today.
What Tractor Supply customers experience is personalized service made possible by T-Mobile for Business. With T-Mobile's reliable 5G business internet, employees get the information they need instantly. This is how business goes further with T-Mobile for Business.
Not every decision you make
will be as good as getting a Volkswagen at the Savvy VW Summer Sales Event. 2024 Volkswagen models cost less to maintain than Honda.
Get 0.9% APR financing or a $3,500 customer bonus on the new 2024 Atlas or Atlas Cross Sport.
It was one thing when my mom got Alzheimer's, but then we started noticing things that seemed off. She developed agitation that may happen with dementia due to Alzheimer's disease. Sometimes she'd fidget with her fingers, get suddenly overwhelmed, and even throw things. And that was just never her. So we asked her doctor what else we could do.
Rexulti is the only FDA-approved medication proven to reduce agitation symptoms that may happen with dementia due to Alzheimer's disease. Rexulti can cause serious side effects. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke, report fever, stiff muscles, and confusion, which can be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death, weight gain, increased cholesterol, low white blood cells, unusual urges, dizziness on standing, falls, seizures, trouble swallowing, or sleepiness may occur.
Rexulti helped reduce my mom's symptoms.
Take action for your loved one. Ask their doctor about Rexulti.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary obligated to act in your best interests.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a transparent fee structured so we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Your best defense against erosion and cavities is strong enamel. Nothing beats it. I recommend Pronamel Active Shield because it actively shields the enamel to defend against erosion and cavities. I think that this product is a game changer for my patients. It really works.
Welcome back. 41 minutes after the hour. Some media outlets are now saying former President Trump is regretting picking Senator J.D. Vance as his running mate. Vance, a first-term senator from Ohio, was announced as Mr. Trump's vice presidential pick on July 15th. And while considered a frontrunner, others have questioned his limited political experience and likability. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson attempting to dispel those regret claims with News Nation's Leland Vittert.
We've now seen J.D. Vance on a national stage, and obviously Hillbilly Elegy, the bestseller that he wrote, was interesting and became sort of a matter of cocktail conversation on the East and West Coast to understand Trump voters. But a lot of America doesn't know him. They're getting introduced to him now. There was the speech you and I were both at the RNC, and now he's been on the stump a couple of times by himself. We'll take a listen to some of his moments.
Democrats say that it is racist to believe. Well, they say it's racist to do anything. I had a Diet Mountain Dew yesterday and one today. I'm sure they're going to call that racist. And hell, a lot of you are my family, actually. We're probably, if you count fourth and fifth cousins, half of you are probably related to me in this room. Anyway, we're going to talk about donuts all day. You can tell what I skipped lunch, so my mind's on donuts here. I'm from Breathitt County, Kentucky, where a woman isn't fully dressed without her guns. I mostly write my own stuff. I'm not going off a teleprompter right now. You can probably tell that. If I totally screw it up, it's too late. No takebacks, right? Fundamentally, you're going to agree, hopefully, since you're here, you're going to agree, hopefully, with most of what President Trump and I want to do. Where can I get a good fried bologna sandwich right now? So I just
At one point, Fox News cut away from his remarks. Is he ready for prime time?
Well, again, first of all, you started out saying it's a firebrand, implying he's bombastic. That seems like a pretty measured approach. He's got a sense of humor. He's engaging. I think that'll appeal to an awful lot of voters, particularly here in Wisconsin. We just want decent people, friendly people, people who believe something that whether you agree or disagree with them, you generally believe that that's what they think. They're not just pounding sand. That's who JD is. So again, I personally found that pretty appealing the way he was presenting himself.
There you go. Well, you can watch On Balance with Leland Vittert tonight and every weeknight starting at 8, 7 Central right here on News Nation. And people in Utah partying like it's 2002 this morning. What? Oh my gosh is right. Cheers all around as Salt Lake City has just been named to host the 2022 34 Winter Olympic Games for the second time in history, with preparations already underway. We'll take you to the celebrations happening now. And right now, you're looking at live right there, courtesy of EarthCam. That's a beautiful shot of Lauderdale by the Sea, Florida. I want to be on that beach. I'm out of here, guys. Leaving right now.
Your best defense against erosion and cavities is strong enamel. Nothing beats it. I recommend Pronamel Active Shield because it actively shields the enamel to defend against erosion and cavities. I think that this product is a game changer for my patients. It really works.
Lactate is 100% real milk, just without the lactose. Delicious, too. Just ask my old friend Kevin.
Nothing like enjoying a cold one while watching the game. Who's winning?
We are, my friend. We are.
Maya knows how quality care can bring out a smile. But it's been a few dog years since she was able to enjoy a smile of her own. Good thing Aspen Dental offers affordable, complete care all in one place. With flexible hours and weekend appointments. Plus 20% off treatment plans for everyone. Loving our patients unconditionally. It's one more way Aspen Dental is in your corner.
Come and get your love. On Medicare? Have diabetes? When enjoying life's special moments, are you left guessing which foods are right for you? With the Freestyle Libre 3 system, you'll know your glucose and where it's headed. No finger sticks needed. Freestyle Libre 3. Manage your diabetes with more confidence and lower your A1C so you can focus on those special moments. Covered by Medicare for more people managing diabetes with insulin. Talk to your provider or visit freestylelibre.us/Medicare.
Ethan! How's my favorite client?
Great. I started using Schwab investing themes, so now I can easily invest in trends, like wearable tech.
Trends? All that research sounds exhausting.
Nope. Schwab's technology does the work. So if I spot an opportunity in robotics or pets, I can buy those stocks in a few clicks.
Can't be that easy.
It is with Schwab.
Schwab investing themes. 40 customizable themes, up to 25 stocks in just a few clicks.
Shame. It's been here as long as I can remember. Living in glances of people I loved, and ones I didn't even know. But what good is shame when it comes to health? Health is not about what weight we lose. It's about all the things a body can gain.
There is no better example of strength and resolve than President Trump, and it's time to show your kids that nothing will stop Trump from fighting for America in 2024. Order the free Kids Guide to President Trump at freetrumpbundle.com. That's freetrumpbundle.com.
Only from SimpliSafe, 24/7 lifeguard protection. This exclusive technology allows SimpliSafe agents to help stop crime in real time.
Stop. Police are on their way.
For instant intruder deterrence and faster police response, there's no safe like SimpliSafe.
What if your body didn't have to hurt after being active? Introducing Stogo, the only apparel with adjustable medical-grade support designed to help you overcome injuries, minimize pain, and regain the confidence to get back out there. Stogo's supportive apparel is engineered with 90 feet of high-strength cables that reinforce the body and control dials that allow you to adjust the support. Stogo is trusted by professionals, world-class athletes, and weekend warriors who all want one thing: more activity and less pain. Learn more at Stogo.com.
We went with the website nuts.com because nuts and dried fruit and pretzels and trail mix and gummies and chocolate and espresso beans and malted milk balls and crackers and popcorn and sesame sticks and veggie chips and energy squares and fudge and jelly beans and seeds and rock candy and saltwater taffy and dried berries and fruit leather and bars and jerky and a whole lot more .com was already taken. Get 20% off and free shipping on your first order at nuts.com. Yes, we have more than nuts, but still the website is just nuts.com.
Welcome back. 48 minutes after the hour, fast forwarding into your Wednesday. President Biden set to address the nation during a primetime broadcast, making it his first official remarks since announcing he was ending his campaign for re-election. He says he will speak about how he plans to, quote, finish the job for the American people. You can watch his special live report and announcement right here on News Nations tonight at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. And tune into our special coverage of Biden's Oval Office address starting tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern right here on News Nation. NFL players around the league are reporting to team facilities as all 32 training camps are officially underway. Players will compete for roster spots between now and September, but we'll only have to wait until next Thursday for our first preseason game when the Texans and Bears square off in Canton, Ohio. And the games kick off this morning with men's soccer and rugby sevens matches. Spain will play Uzbekistan and Argentina takes on Morocco on the soccer pitch starting around 9 a.m. Eastern time right here. Australia and Samoa will also get the rugby competition underway around 9:30. But don't worry, Olympic superfans, these games happening before the opening ceremonies, which are set for Friday at noon Eastern.
That's a big boy. That's a big boy. That'll feed somebody.
Look at that. Get the butter ready. That's what I'm talking about. You thought you were a lobster fan. Well, these lobster men might put you to shame. Some of the biggest and best lobster catchers from around the country are flocking to Florida this week, all for this one shellfish. For just 2 days, they'll be on the water for what's called mini season. News Nation's Xavier Walton joins us from the water. And Xavier, from my understanding, this is a pretty sought-after event. Thousands start up their boats right before midnight.
They look forward to this thing every single year. And hey, it might be mini lobster season, but there is nothing mini about these lobsters. All right, so right now we're in this area where all the equipment is. Now I'm going to show you, we're going to get out of here. This boat just came out of the water. And let's just show you what all they were able to catch. All right, I'm going to ask the guys just came in. How many lobster did you guys catch this morning?
We limited out.
Limited out. How many guys were?
12 apiece.
12 apiece. How many were you? 72 lobsters. They went out at midnight, and this is what they brought in. Think about all of those lobsters. I think I know what they're having for dinner tonight. Hey, they're not the only ones, but one thing you got to know. There is a catch, and not just these massive crustaceans as he picks them up here on live television. Hey, Florida Wildlife Commission has a bunch of rules, regulations. It started at midnight, goes until midnight on the 25th. All boaters have to have a recreational saltwater fishing license, a lobster permit. They have to have their dive flags out. Listen to what one guy said when he came back in off the water.
This is a tradition. This is like a tradition for a lot of families, and a tradition. It's a Miami thing. Miami thing. You get the lobster, clean it, do a cookout, drink some beers, and have fun.
Sounds like a lot of fun to me. Hey, there is a daily limit, 6 lobsters per person in Monroe County. Also, Biscayne National Park, it's 12 per person. And that's what they did here. They limited it out at 12 per person. Guys, can I pick one up? Is that okay? I want to be polite to the lobsters, but also to these guys, because they worked really hard. Oh, hey, buddy. So this is dinner, right? Are we going to do steak?
Well, actually,
steak and lobster?
I'm about to do a breakfast for my wife.
Ooh, Eggs Benedict with lobster.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't see me the next hour, you know what I'm doing. I'm having Eggs Benedict with these guys, Nick. It's a lot of fun out here. It goes until midnight tomorrow.
Yeah, you tell Laz Crespo I'm on my way to his house for dinner. He's talking about cooking up those lobsters. I'm right with you, Xavier. Xavier Walton on the water this morning. Xavier, thank you so much. FBI Director Christopher Wray will be on the hot seat this morning on Capitol Hill in just a few hours. Well, lawmakers are looking to find out about what led up to the attempt on former President Trump's life.
You've had thyroid eye disease for a long time, and you've lived with the damage it caused. But even after all these years, restoration is still possible. Learn how at TEDhelp.com.
Your best defense against erosion and cavities is strong enamel. Nothing beats it. I recommend Pronamel Active Shield because it actively shields the enamel to defend against erosion and cavities. I think that this product is a game changer for my patients. It really works.
So, how long have you lived here? And how are the restaurants around here? Are they good, bad, meh?
Marcy, we've got to go!
I'm sorry!
We've got 17,000 more parks to visit. We bring you the best neighborhood info.
Ding dong!
Homes.com.
Life, diabetes, there's no slowing down. Each day is a unique blend of people to see and things to do. That's why you choose Glucerna to help manage blood sugar response. Uniquely designed with Carb Steady. Glucerna, bring on the day.
Stay ahead of your child's moderate to severe eczema.
and they can show off clearer skin and less itch with Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists that helps heal your child's skin from within. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your child's eczema specialist about Dupixent.
This summer, snacking just got serious. Introducing new $3 foot-long dippers. The world might not be ready for them.
But at $3 a pop, your wallet definitely is.
Cologuard? Cologuard.
Cologuard.
Screen for colon cancer.
At home, like you want.
You the man.
Cologuard is for people 45 plus at average risk, not high risk. False positive and negative results may occur. Ask your provider for Cologuard.
I did it my way.
At the Jeep Make This the Summer event, you can take a vacation from payments on the most capable Wrangler ever. Our most affordable SUV, Jeep Compass. The only open-air pickup, Jeep Gladiator. And the most awarded SUV ever, Jeep Grand Cherokee. Hurry into your Jeep brand dealer and make the most out of summer with great deals plus no payments for 90 days.
During the Jeep Make This the Summer event, get $2,000 bonus cash allowance on select 2024 Jeep Gladiator and select 2024 Jeep Wrangler gas-powered models in dealer stock.
If you have moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, put it in check with Rinvoq, a once-daily pill.
When symptoms tried to take control, I got rapid relief and reduced fatigue with Rinvoq. Check.
When flares kept trying to slow me down, I got lasting steroid-free remission with Rinvoq. Check.
And when my doctor saw damage, Rinvoq helped visibly reduce damage of the intestinal lining. Check.
For both UC and Crohn's, rapid symptom relief, lasting steroid-free remission.
And visibly reduced damage. Check, check, and check.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal. Cancers, including lymphoma and skin. Heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occurred. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Put UC and Crohn's in check and keep them there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Rinvoq and learn how AbbVie can help you save.
The Summer Olympics set to get underway in just 2 days ahead of the opening ceremony. The International Olympic Committee announcing just a moment ago that Salt Lake City will host the Winter Games in 2034, marking their second time doing so after their first Olympics back in 2002. Jillian Smuckler from our affiliate in Utah. Hey, everybody's on fire. The excitement is real, Jillian.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it has been a party down here. I feel like everyone has been waiting for years for this moment. Finally, it's here. And when they made that final announcement this morning, Nick, it was crazy out here. Take a look behind me. I mean, you could see people are still out here. They are so excited for this moment. Obviously, everybody had a feeling Salt Lake City was going to be chosen to host the 2034 Winter Games. But nothing's official until it's official, right? So they went through the whole process. Some of our leaders, like our governor, our mayor, they all are in Paris. They made that final pitch about why Utah should be selected as host for the 2034 Winter Games. Then they made that vote live, and they had it streamed all around here on the big screens. And really, it was just cheers from there on out. I mean, the excitement is real. We have something to look forward to. We know that we can do it. We did it back in 2002, and we're already ready to do it again. That's in 10 years from now. So a lot could change, but I think the one thing that's not going to change is the excitement here. We are so happy, but yes, Salt Lake City officially the host of the Winter Games. I'm going to send it back to you.
Jillian, thank you so much. That will indeed be a party. Jillian, thank you so much. As the WNBA season heads into a 3-week Olympic break, the league reports a record 3.4 million viewers watched last weekend's All-Star game. That's about 4 times as many viewers as last year's installment and the largest audience for any WNBA game since its inaugural season back in 1997. The WNBA All-Stars beat the women's Olympic team 117-109. And the day's top stories are straight ahead. We have more news for All America, and it starts right now.